It's Saturday the 15th of September. Okay, so this is the NUC box I brought home from my dad's house. This is the NUC box that was being robbed up by wasps originally. The Father's Day swarm was the original colony that got completely demolished by wasps. So I put it in a NUC, and it was a solid boarded NUC, and because it's having its varroa treatment, I didn't want it to be on a bottomed NUC box, so I swapped it, put it into this NUC box, which is a mesh floored NUC box, and it's been at Dad's for a couple of weeks. Last weekend I checked the stores with all the bees, and the sugar syrup that I'd put in this box over that week hadn't even been touched. There was not one single bee up in there. So we can see it has rained over the last few days, off and on, not too much, but you can see that there's dying bee and dead bees. I'm not sure what's going on in this hive, what we'll find. If there's no queen, but there are some bees, the only option I have is to unite those bees with the double NUC box I've got at the bottom of the garden, which probably might not be such a bad idea. I think it's probably too late for this little colony. It wouldn't make it through the winter, and it may well be that we don't have anything in there now. What I like to do is I like to have a little listen by putting my head up against, it's really nice and warm in the sun, by putting my ear up against the side of the box, just to hear any sounds, inside. And I do that in the winter with the rest of my hives anyway, so I'm going to do that. Let's see if I can hear anything. I can hear bees in there. How about on the other side? I can hear bees there as well. So there's bees in there, so I'll probably light the smoker, burn it off. And we can see that there are no bees at all taking any sugar syrup down. And really not seeing the bees take any sugar syrup down at this time of year gave me big alarm bells. See, I think these have been completely walked out. They're empty frames. So let's get this off. Do you have a queen? Let's see what we have. This is a full frame of honey. We've got some wax moth damage here. That's not good. And on here, let's see what else we have. We've got some stores in this super. When they first moved in, they built some wax on the bottom on this side. A very weak colony We've got a little bit of cat brood here. Some of these are a bit crushed. Some sugar syrup stores going on. A little bit of larva. We do have eggs, so the queen should still be in residence, and there she is. I don't know. So the queen's okay. And we've got some brood, cat brood. Well, if the queen's still laying, she's a little bit, and it may be, but there's so few bees in here that they just can't bridge the gap between those supers and the sugar syrup, so I'll have to take the supers off. So just have a little look to see what's going on here. A little bit more cat brood. Not a lot of pollen stores. They have stores. They're building up their sugar syrup supply. I mean, the supers have been robbed of the honey that was in there, which is a shame. But their nectar stores, well, their sugar syrup stores, they're building up all around the brood pattern. Tiny little play cup on the end there. Don't mind that being there. A little bit bumpy, this frame. Just got a little bit of honey there. Not much else. So I think what's important at the moment, I want to have a look at the bottom. See, now let me show you quickly. That is a huge great wax moth. So he's crawled out, and we're going to do wax moth chop, because I'm not having that in a frame of honey. That's what happens to wax moth, compared to that little wax moth that was in my other video a couple of weeks ago. The casualties of okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just clean this up a little bit. And they're doing well in the sunshine. It's lovely and sunny here. What are you up to, Charlie? I'm going to put these bees back. They have a queen. She's still laying. They have some nectar. It destroyed a few wax moth. Got that mega great big fat juicy one out into the grass. Take the pollen patty out of the fridge. I think what I'll do is I will use contact feeder. Ladies.